What's going on, everyone? It's me, Payne from Payne Lifts. Today I'm going to sit down with you guys. I'm going to tell you about my 6-month update for being on Enclomiphene, okay? So for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are just clicking in, hopping on the channel, welcome of course. But for those of you who don't know, 6 months ago I had to start Enclomiphene because my testosterone levels were not only low, but I was experiencing symptoms of low testosterone, and I figured I need to try something to fix that. I'll pay whatever I gotta pay. I need to make it happen. So Enclomiphene is not like testosterone replacement therapy. It's not like TRT. TRT is a straight up supplementation of testosterone to help fix your testosterone levels. Enclomiphene is a pill that is gonna tell your brain to tell your balls, or in my case, my one ball, it's gonna tell my one ball to produce more testosterone so that way I can get my levels normalized and I can feel normal again. Another thing to keep in mind if you are new to the channel is that I am missing one of my balls because I had testicular cancer about 8 or 9 years ago. I'm doing great, I'm okay. But as someone who has that kind of past medical history, it's important that I keep an eye on my testosterone, even though it is very possible for your one remaining testicle to take over and produce the amount of testosterone needed to sustain normal energy levels and normal, symptoms of not having low testosterone. And in fact, something worth mentioning is I did get my testosterone checked for the first 5 years that I was cancer-free, and every year it had been fine. As a 20-something-year-old male, 600 to 1200 is the range that you want your testosterone to be at, but you could be at 300 and still have no symptoms of low testosterone. So it's just gonna vary from person to person, but if you are experiencing symptoms of low testosterone and you get your testosterone checked and the levels are low, then that is probably a contributing factor to why you are having issues. So I'm doing all this through Game Day Men's Health, and part of their protocol is that you get your blood work done every 3 months while you're on Enclomiphene through them. So I have some results for you guys. So my memory is not 100%, it's not the best. So I'm just gonna use the little spark notes I have here. So in June 2024, I got my testosterone tested and it was 384. I wasn't experiencing low symptoms at the time. I just took advantage of Game Day having a free testosterone check, and I just wanted to see where I was at. I was kind of curious anyways, wanted to make a video for you guys. So it's 384. Decided to, be more strict about my sleep schedule. I decided to just do a lot better in what I was eating and make some changes that would help me get higher testosterone levels. I get it tested almost exactly a year later, June 2025, and it's 536. And at this time, I'm seeing symptoms of low testosterone, low energy levels, low sex drive, a lot of brain fog, and just didn't feel, I felt like something was missing, not emotionally. I mean, that's a whole different story. So it's 536. And I hop on the Enclomiphene, just start it right there. I'm not gonna get anything else tested. Like, I know that the testosterone is probably the issue, and so that's what I do, right? 3 months in, I get my testosterone checked, and it's 944, which is fantastic because, like I said, you wanna be between that 600 and 1200 range. But they did a more extensive blood panel, and it showed that my estrogen was 88. And as a male in your 20s, late 20s, I'm 27, you want to be between 20 and 40. So I was over double the max. And so for the next few weeks, like, I'm checking, I'm like, do I have boobs, do I need to go get a bra, breast reduction, like what's going on here? So they increased my dosage for Enclomiphene. I went from 5 pills a week to 6 pills a week. And then they added in a estrogen blocker as well, 1 pill a week, and order a blood test for another 6 weeks later. So that's why I didn't make the video when I hit the 3-month mark, because I just wanted to go ahead and do that 6 weeks later blood test after the estrogen blocker. And so 6 weeks later, get my testosterone checked. It is 866, which is fine because your testosterone fluctuates, and I'm still between that 600 and 1200 range. And the estrogen has gone down to 44, which is still above the normal of where I want to be. That's okay. So they increased my dosage of Enclomiphene again to 7 pills a week, 1 a day. And then now I'm taking an estrogen blocker twice a week on Sundays and Wednesdays. And so the next step is going to be in March. We're going to see my blood work again, and I'll have a video for you guys then because now everything is kind of settled down. The dust is kind of settled, I believe. So in March, we'll have another video, have another blood test, and go from there. Now, testosterone levels can say anything. It can say 90, it can say 9,000, 900, 1,200, it can say whatever it wants. But do I feel like my symptoms have improved? And the answer is yes. One thing I do want to say is that I feel like my energy levels were highly negatively affected by a caffeine dependence. I was having about 400 milligrams a day of caffeine around the time this video was taken. Around the time that I started the Enclomiphene journey. That was probably a contributing factor. Like, I'm a night owl who has to wake up early for work. And by early, I mean like 7 a.m. So that's not early for some people, but for me it was early, especially when you go to sleep around like 12 or 1 every night. So yeah, I wasn't getting enough sleep, that's for sure, but I've worked on improving my sleep schedule. I've worked on reducing my caffeine intake, and that has helped a lot. But I do think that the Enclomiphene helped fix my sex drive, which was low at the time. Brain fog was definitely an issue, and just I was a little more moody, I guess, which ironically is a potential side effect of Enclomiphene, but I'll get to that later. Another thing I want to point out, I love the gym. I work really hard to have the physique that I have. I thought I was at the max, and being on Enclomiphene for the last few months, I have made a huge jump, basically the same jump that I had when I started creatine. So I've gained, just to go over stats and numbers here, I've gained 10 to 15 pounds and kept pretty much the same body fat percentage. My bench press went up from 315 to 345 since June of last year. It's January when I'm filming this. My deadlift went from 415. My deadlift went from 415 to 447. And then I can't squat right now because my knees are kind of trashed. That's a whole other issue that I'm getting worked on right now, just trying to reclaim my health this year. But yeah, I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot more energy. I have a lot more energy. I've been doing kickboxing and Muay Thai, and I've had a lot more energy for that. I'm throwing out some really powerful kicks and punches, hopefully. I'm getting whooped. I'm getting my butt kicked, but that's just a skill thing. That's not a strength thing. That's not something Enclomiphene can fix. But at least I have the energy to keep up with everyone else in the class, and that has been fantastic. Another question I've gotten from a lot of friends and people that are interested in taking Enclomiphene is, have there been any negative side effects? And the only two that I can think of is, number one, your estrogen spiking, which is scary as someone who does not want to have high estrogen, someone who is very adamant about having high testosterone and low estrogen. So that happened, but that's being taken care of with the estrogen blocker. And then another thing is potential of mood swings, which I have that occasionally, but I feel like that's more dependent on my sleep. And I am a 27-year-old man, and it is my job to regulate any mood swings and emotions that I have. So I think I've been able to do that. Like, nothing makes me like Hulk out or go into, oh, I just see red, nothing like that. And believe me, I've been put in a lot of situations where, over the last few months, I've been put in a lot of situations where I felt like doing that. But again, as a 20-something-year-old man, it is up to you to regulate and to not fly off the handlebars and do something stupid. So with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I seriously appreciate each and every single one of you guys. If you have any questions, just comment them down below. I'll do my best to answer. I try to be as open as possible with you guys. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I told the whole internet I have one testicle, so like, what's left to hide, Again, try to be as open as possible with you guys. So I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I have some more videos coming out for you guys. Got some more things in the works. New year, new me, just gonna try and grind down social media and, make this thing work so I can quit my 9 to 5. That'd be fun. But with that being said, you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.